Thank you once again. Thank you for Leonidas, for our auctioneers panel. Thank you so much. Next 20 minutes or so, I just want to talk about achieving a personal best in 2026. What's it going to take? There's been a heap of content over the last 24 hours, and it's all about, again, implementation. So I'm really just going to touch on this. This sales agent timeline is available in your workbooks, the Sales Agent Framework workbook. It is 210 pages long, okay? So everything you need to get structured for the next, Sorry?
I have no idea.
Oh, Arthur's mic. Can we cut Arthur's mic?
Delaney's kind.
Like he wasn't going to the bathroom, rushing off like Justin needs to before an auction. That's gold. Okay, that's fantastic. All right, okay, sales agent campaign timeline workflow. Guys, these are your golden moments. When you go through your sales agent timeline process, these are all your touch points that you can make through your, obviously your campaign. As we said, when we list the property, process will get it sold. And then, of course, campaigns get you exposure and all the touch points. Okay, so please go through this. It's got every little touch point that you should be doing through a sales campaign, and just go and tick off all the dots. Probably one of the most important one is your first section there, right? So a lead comes in, a potential vendor becomes an appraisal, and then you've got all the steps that you need to be doing before obviously it gets listed, and then if it doesn't get listed, or if you lose a listing, so we've got a process for a lost listing, thank you but disappointed card, direct a follow-up call, then it goes to an expired authority follow-up, get permission to call back, it goes back into the potential vendor again, and of course, if you don't list something, it goes into the client engagement program and off-market buyer opportunities. So follow the process, follow the steps, sit down with your teams, tick off what you are doing, what you're not doing. Okay. So, and I think on that note, I might just get, can we hand the microphone over to, and I want to introduce Sam Hunter to the group here. Sam, do you want, actually just come on up, all right? This is just an impromptu discussion, because I think it's really important to talk about the emergence of the buyers advocates out there, okay? Can we give it up for Sam Hunter from Happy Buyers Club, and also now, despite the shirt, I know we've got Money Cloud. Also, we're a JV. Black Salts is a JV with Money Cloud now, and we'll get Justin to talk about a Money Cloud in a moment as well. But Sam, thank you for obviously today, and I know I put you on the spot, but with our discussions, obviously with the introduction of buyer agents and the emergence of buyer agents, just tell us a little bit about the story. In the last 12 months, you've obviously helped how many buyers purchase properties?
73.
73,
yeah.
Okay.
So this is our second financial year in business. First full FY was the year before. We did 46. We'll do close to 80 this year. We're fixed fee. We did 1.1 in the first 12 months. We'll do 1.8 this year, hopefully.
That's pretty good going, isn't it? And how long have you been in business for?
We started the business September 23, but we cheated. We've been in real estate since 2010, so we think we know what we're doing.
Okay. Well, I think you've done a really good job. I think it's really important in, and it is impromptu, just to talk about who's dealing with a lot of buyer agents at the moment. Okay? Yeah, everyone's dealing with a lot. So buyers agents is an emerging aspect, has been for some time. We know in the States it is mainstream in the two sides of the equation, the seller and obviously the buyer. What are the things, in 5 minutes, share something that the team here could take away when dealing with buyers agents, working with buyers, getting the best results for obviously the sellers, the go-wrongs. What are you seeing in the marketplace? Who's doing well?
I'm going to sound like I'm taking the piss, but it's agents that answer their telephones that I think do really well. We've all got this $1,000 device in our pockets, and not many people tend to use it, or at least the perception is that not many people tend to use it. We would have a relationship with close to 1,500 agents across Brisbane. We only buy in Brisbane City Council area, for anyone that's where we're from. we would have a very close relationship with maybe 150. So probably the top 10%. And they are the people that are writing the fees. When we bring on a new client, I want to talk about, someone had a slide up earlier today about sales of the last 2023, 24, I think it was you, Manos.
Yes.
We ring every agent when we bring on a new client who's sold something that they liked in the last 18 months and say, ring them, ring your buyers. Are they getting divorced? Did they take on too much? Do they know that they've probably made a bit of money? Because our market's a little bit different to Victoria in that it's pretty loose at the moment. It has been for a while. So if you bought 18 months ago, you might have already made 15%. And if you are splitting or selling or upgrading sooner or downgrading sooner than you had planned, it's an easier conversation to have knowing that you're going to get out of it pretty well. I would say 30% of what we buy has transacted within the last 18 months. And that's a selling point for us. And the agents that answer the phone, have those conversations, ring their buyers because they've dropped them off pizza or gave them a good settlement experience, get the listing, do the business. A lot of the time it is because it's quite a sensitive subject. So they sell it off market. We might be the only person in, which is good. Sometimes they say no, and then we just build a relationship from there. We give a lot of price feedback. So we treat our business like agents are our clients as much as our clients are our clients. So if we see a property through the week, they get feedback same day. Even if it's just from us about our opinion on value, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we saw. My business partner's a qualified plumber. It rains a lot in Brisbane, so we make a lot of commentary around roofs, gutters, stormwater, things like that they might not have seen. And actually that does help them with vendor education. I won't use that C word. What else do we do? Saturday afternoons, we do agent callbacks. And I would say that there would be, if we go to 19 to 20 opens across the three of us on a Saturday, we'd get a phone call from 1 or 2 agents, max. And I imagine that is the experience that so many buyers have in the market as well, thus the perception of everybody being a bit of a dick. Bring people back, it's not hard, I think.
Yeah, I think it was absolutely invaluable, and obviously Claudio and Matthew Pilios touched on it yesterday. At the end of the day, call back your people. But that is the perception. I remember there was an agent who was promoting themselves, the agent that calls you back. That was their tagline, the agent that calls you back, because of the reputation that we have. So really interesting. Questions from the room to a buyer's agent. Any questions? Yeah, Lou?
I'm glad you said you're from Brisbane because here at the moment we've had a huge influx of buyer's agents, and I get probably half a dozen plus emails every day, and I don't get return calls, from the buyer's agent. So
it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't, or return emails. So it's really interesting. So it's the other way around.
Can I tell a quick story?
Yep,
So
absolutely.
I've been in real estate since 2010, got into it at the end of the GFC, learnt some hard lessons, and that's sort of the foundation of how we run our business now. I sold my business partner on real estate's pretty easy, it's pretty simple, talk to 20 people a day, life takes care of itself. He goes, okay, I trust you, let's go and do it. The first thing that he saw when he went home that night was a Buyers Agency Institute ad. I'm sure we've all seen those ads, where it's like, if you've got a laptop, you can make 30 grand a month working 3 hours a week. That is the influx, unfortunately, and they just bulk send emails for people that don't know any better, they're not doing a great job. We're tainted with that same brush, and we had to work so hard in the way that we communicate with sales agents to make sure our phone calls get answered. For 6 months it was the same. We tried really hard, and then we started getting great feedback, and we started having higher level conversations than everybody else. The same way that you guys keep in touch with the database to prove that you're a better real estate agent than Barry down the road. We had to work really hard on the same thing, and I'd say for the hundreds of emails you get every week, there'll be people who are consistent, more often than not, and they'll be the people you want to do deals with, and they'll be the people that'll help you as well.
Yeah. And quick question, how are you finding your clients? How are buyers finding the Happy Buyers Club?
To the chap who was all about door knocking, I'm sorry that I'm going to say this, we would get 99% of our business via our social media channels, and the other 1% would be referrals from past clients.
Okay.
We work really hard on being boringly consistent with our socials. We do Instagram, TikTok, we have a podcast, we film everything that we do, an editor clips it up, makes us look smarter and better than we are. It's pretty well followed. It took us 6 months of posting every single day to get that first lead, but we would average 15 discovery calls a week from socials now, so call that an appraisal if you want to call that.
Yep.
We would engage 5 to 8 per month. We'd buy 5 to 8 per month. It's just my business partner and I. We've got 3 people joining us in January because we have a waiting list of people who are like, can we work with you? We're busy. So.
Yeah, I know it was impromptu. Or one last question, Jess?
Yes, I'm in Tasmania and I probably get 5 to 10 phone calls a week from buyers agents from interstate.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to ask, is your first priority when you ring an agent to find an off-market listing?
I think that's always a goal, but what we learned very quickly, because agents tell us about bad buyer agency experiences, everyone rings and says, what have you got off market? Whereas we ring and we say, we've got Jazz and Dan. They're a young couple, they've just sold a unit in Indro for 850 grand. They thought they were going to get 750, they can now spend 1.7. What are you listing? Like, what are you seeing? Can we come along to the appraisal? Like, we win a lot of, I think, relationships and help agents win business, because if they're going out against 3 others and they might be new in their market or going to another market, they can bring us along. We take our shoes off, we're very polite, we're relatively professional despite the way we look, and we can give great feedback and we can be really objective because we're not trying to sell anything. I think that's one of the other reasons why our socials do well, is we're not trying to sell people stuff, but everything we talk about is basically sales training. It's just people trust us because we're not trying to sell them a house. We don't go down the off-market approach. We talk about our clients, we use their names, we make it very human. I think what are you appraising is a way better question to ask than what have you got off-market? And that's probably why we get a bit of cut through. Although only for probably the first half of this year, we would have bought 50-50 on-market, pre-market. Nothing's ever off-market. If they've signed a Form 6, they're on the market. It's flipped a bit. We're buying more on-market now than not because stock is so tight in Brisbane. If you make a good offer before it hits realestate.com.au, the seller's like, oh, I'm going to get more. And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. We're bidding on a place tonight that we made a pre-auction offer. I think we'll buy less. So we'll see.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question.
Brendan, one last question.
5
Over
minutes.
to Brendan.
As a buyer agent, are you negotiating much? Because at least just with the negotiation aspect, I've noticed in my marketplace, if I can find a buyer's agent who is willing to return the calls and whatnot, there's pretty much never any negotiation on it.
They just pay the money.
Pretty much just pay the money. So it's actually quite good. And also, my second one, is there just like an AI-generated algorithm that says buy in this area? Because it seems like it just comes like a flood to certain pockets.
I hope we negotiate.
Yeah.
We bought 4 properties last week. One of them we absolutely got squeezed on. We paid like top dollar because we had to. There was 19 other offers. Our guys wanted it. We had a good relationship with the agent. They didn't tell us what the offer was, but we knew the price we needed to pay, and our guys made the decision that they were willing to pay it. The others, I think we bullied our way at auction to kind of scaring off a couple of people and bought it for less than what our walkaway number was, so we're pretty happy with that. The other one was a development site off market that we all feel like it was fair. We didn't say yes to what they wanted, they didn't say yes to what we wanted, we negotiated. So hopefully we do. I do hear that story quite a bit as well. We've got a potential business partner up in Rocky, and he's wanting to partner with us because he follows us on socials, and he gets a lot of calls from buyers agents where they're like, I've got 700, I'll give you 700 as long as you agree to give me 30 grand off the building and pests so I look like a hero. They're often from Victoria. Sorry, Victorians.
Awesome.
I forgot your second question, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Awesome. Can we give it up for Sam? I know I put him on the spot,
Thanks,
but
guys.
in the conversation, I thought it was invaluable. And we'll definitely we'll have you up at next year's Black Salt and actually be the buyer's agent representing your aspect. I think it's important that we're all aware because this is only going to grow. Give it up, and we'll give the microphone to Justin for 3 minutes to talk about Money Cloud. And this is a JV that Black Salt is doing with Money Cloud. Come on up, Justin.
Thank you.
Can we give it up for Justin? So Money Cloud is a JV that entered partnership with Black Salt and AA and so forth. And it's an opportunity to obviously help our buyers, help our vendors, and to get them to maximise their returns on their home loans. And give us a background on why Money Cloud and why we've gone digital, and over to you.
I think we've seen today and yesterday, digital is the way of the future, isn't it? So let's do it our finance. I'm a finance nerd. I absolutely love it. Sam, he's a property nerd. We love it. We're bringing it together. We understand what it means for the buyer. We understand what it means for the seller. We understand what it means for the people trying to get that loan. So Money Cloud is, it's just a few clicks away. Home loans don't need to be as hard as the banks make it out to be. And we want it to be nice and simple. Easy approvals, fast applications.
The clicker's there for your slides, yeah.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
You,
Okay,
you do it.
cool.
And it's there to make it really simple for everyone. Great rates and just really seamless technology. Technology is a big part. We've built a lot of our own. And this is going to show some of the stuff there that we've built to make it really easy for people so that they can get what they need really fast. Their own dashboard. You know, we saw your dashboard earlier and that's outstanding. And we've done the same for our clients for Money Cloud. Customers be able to do everything really simply and digitally and just be known. You know, we know them, we want them to really give them that human element, but the technology is going to help them do it really fast.
Yeah.
And simply.
So this is not a broker-facing platform. This is digital. We share it to someone and how to get a comparison rate, isn't it? What's the line that the team will be able to use to help their clients?
There's not going to be one line, Manos. Everyone is different. But to say all of that, you know, people do want to know what are the good rates. So there are great rates on there as well. We do have a great, excellent comparison component to it. People go on and have a look. Keep us accountable, keep the bank accountable, keep it all accountable. So it's really shows what the rates are specifically for them, not just the one that the bank is showing. And if they want to do something about it, they can do that.
Yeah, fantastic.
You know, it's nearly like, we know everyone here has got a relationship with a broker or a bank, but this is going to be faster. The digital makes it work. And we just say, it's going to be like, give it a second go. Give it a go, see what it does. You'll be surprised. Your clients will be surprised. It'll be a great outcome for them.
Yeah. And also, guys, and for the details, take a photo of the QR code or scan it, become an affiliate partner. They'll talk to you about what that means for you guys directly as affiliate partner. And this is the next step of digital. So just be aware of that. So
absolutely.
Awesome.
Register interest. We're launching in Q1 next year. That QR code, just scan it, put your details in, and we will absolutely look after you.
Done. Give it up for
Thanks,
Justin.
Manos.
Thank you. Done. Thanks, buddy. All right. All right. So back to having your best personal year yet. What we need to do is we need to think end in mind. What will your business, I want you to ask this question of yourself, what would your business look like if you made the decision to be in it for the rest of your life? What will your business need to look like if you made the decision to be in it for the rest of your life? Start there. That's where we start. I want you to schedule your why day, right? Page, obviously the introductory page to the workbook is schedule your why day. It all starts with your why. And of course, we've also got the game day download from the website. So please download your game day workbook. Set some time away. It will set up all your goals. It sets up your why, personal goals, financial goals, toys goals, the whole lot, holiday goals. The next thing we need to do is start at the start line. Where are you right now? Reverse engineer where you were last year. Where are you now? Also, are you an apprentice? Are you a tradesperson? Are you a practice? And whatever level you are, which one do you want to be in for the next 12 months? Which one do you want to grow into for the next 12 months? And just simple stuff. When you go through the workbook, the simplest thing that you could do is, did you have them at hello? What do I mean by that? I call a lot of agents, as everyone knows. I call a lot of agents on a Sunday, probably sometimes even on 7 o'clock. It could be something urgent. But this is the bit that really gets me when I call them and I don't get them, and this is their voicemail. And it says, "Hi, I'm sorry I've missed your call. I'm either with a client or at an appointment. Please leave a message and get back to me." And it's the same message no matter what day or what time I actually call them. There is one gentleman in the room that has the discipline of changing their voicemail on a daily basis, and I have admired this trait enormously, and that's Claudio Cuomo, right? So Claudio, how often have you missed change, or when did you start?
Twice in 10 years.
Twice into... When did you start? And what does your voicemail say today?
I did it on Monday to surmise the 3 days that I was
Perfect.
here, because I was away Monday. It just says, thanks, you reached Claudio Cuomo from C+M Residential, the most passionate people in property. I'm away at an end-of-year conference till Wednesday. For anything urgent, please send me through a text or reach out to the two better-looking gentlemen, John and Matthew, than me.
Yeah.
But it changes like that every day. It might have something with the weather, it might have something with this, just depends how I'm feeling. We've had a really big weekend, which is very rare nowadays. I'm a bit dusty. Sometimes someone will ring and go, gotcha, send me a text, you haven't changed your voice message.
Yeah.
Which I have a bit of a laugh at, and I jump on and change it straight away.
Yeah, I love it. How long have you been doing it for?
Longer than I can remember. It'd be 7+ years. It could even be more.
Can we give a big round of applause for that? Right? Like, seriously, guys. And I confess, I've been sharing that story for quite a few years, right? But I didn't practice what I was sharing. I didn't practice what I was preaching. And I started changing my voicemail probably 3-4 months ago from the sync-ups that we were doing around the country and all that. I said, far out, you know. I've got to be changing my voicemail, right? It's got to be a discipline. Guys, I cannot believe the responses that I'm getting, right? Love, Justin's probably my favourite. Like, we're always on the phone and Justin is always saying, I'm loving your voicemail and so forth. But it's so important. Such a little thing, but makes such a big difference. Hayden, we spoke about it at Sync Up. Have you done those changes to the voicemail? You have? Can we give the microphone to Hayden? Have you had any feedback for it?
Yeah, I'm finding from doing that, Manos, that people that would just ring you 3 times in a row, or, you know, they just keep hassling you until you pick up the phone, that they just do leave the message now. And yeah, just like from the, you know, blocking the, you know, time out to make the calls back.
Yeah.
And it just makes your life so much less stressful. It is a game changer. So
yeah, love it. So please, that's the first thing you do. So go through the first few pages and get to the basics done. Now, are you a real estate agent or are you a real estate agent? And what I mean by that is, right, you need to be going pro. You need to be going all in. So when you ask that question, what does my business need to look like if you made the decision to be in it for the rest of your life? It is about going pro. It's about going all in. And when you go all in, you'll put the processes in place, you'll put all the 1%ers, and they will make an impact, okay? So make the decision to go all pro. So, last couple of slides. Don't fall for the loyalty trap, okay? Have zero expectations. It will save you a lot of enormous amount of frustration, disappointment, lack of focus, and most importantly, reduce the risk of ever becoming complacent. I struggled with this when I first got into real estate. I'm thinking, mate, we do the best job of all our clients and so forth, and then they don't refer us in, all that sort of stuff, and blah, blah, blah. So really, it affected me, right? So understand when you don't expect the loyalty, things totally change because you actually lift your game as well. Because you're always, you always want to be front of mind. You get that, you know, for lack of a better expression, you get that paranoia. If I'm not in front of mine, my competition will be. So be aware of that, and please never, ever arrive, right? And what I mean by that, never, ever get the big head. I don't care what you're writing. I don't care what sales you do. Never, ever feel like you've arrived, because again, that new kid on the block, the new one in our town, who's 21 years of age, is likely going to write $1 million, is because there's been other people in the area who probably feel that they've arrived, right? So there's competition always coming through. So just be aware of that. Okay. And yeah, become paranoid about your engagement strategy. We talked about this yesterday with Daniel's presentation. Please do. These slides will become available for everyone. We'll shoot them through. Google authority is AI search authority. It's so critical. If you haven't done your AI self-audit, as Daniel mentioned yesterday, you need to do it. We'll send over these digital footprints that you should be asking itself. But even if you asked those simple questions that Daniel talked about yesterday, please put it into AI, but then act on it. Just act on it. Like these prompts help identify your strengths and your weaknesses, right? And you'll get something back like this, right? When you put in a prompt like, act as a homeowner, researching agents in Mornington, Victoria, search and analyse everything you can publicly find online about Sarah Dawson. I just made Sarah Dawson up, so it's not a real agent, but that's the prompt that we put in, and I asked it to give back some feedback. And ChatGPT's example response, first impressions, good visibility, reputation, brand presence, value perception, missing opportunities, action plan, top 5 priorities, right? So optimize Google My Business with consistent posts, Q&As, and review replies. That is a really big one, guys, right? So if you haven't optimized your Google, there is a challenge there because you will be lost in the AI search. The Hustle Playbook, going back to that, is your prospecting plan. It is month to month to month. And again, there's also a meeting agenda for each week for a sales meeting. Okay, so whether you're doing it with your team or whether you're doing it as an office, get to this agenda, pull it apart. There's 10 components to it, or just use this one and just go through the agenda and keep your sales meetings 15 minutes, 30 minutes, informative but productive. They're not there just to have a chat, okay? Get intentional with what the outcomes you want out of your meetings. Final reflection. What does a personal best look like for you in 2026? What does a personal best look like for you in 2026? Is it the GCI that you write? Is it the time off you're going to have with your family? Is it putting a team around you that's going to give you the freedom and the business that you absolutely love? Because that's the most important thing. On that note, I'm going to hand you over to Arthur. Thank you from me. That's and we'll come up with Maria as well in a moment.